guys. Welcome to your weekly tarot reading for Apparently I Am a Robot for today, February 5th to the 11th. Since it's Tuesday, I'm just going to do Tuesday to Monday. All right, I only have about 5 minutes to do this. My battery is dying and I got to go in a few. So I already pulled the cards and I'm just going to go through them as quickly as I can. Okay, so for the overall theme for this week, we've got some really good stuff here. We pulled the Ace of Wands. Hi, Shanda. With the Ace of Wands, I'm using the Star Child Tarot deck, and then I'm using Archangel Michael for a clarifier deck. So Ace of Wands, renewed creativity. We've got some ideas flowing. We've got creative juices going. For a clarifier, we pulled admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. So there's definitely some committing to shining light on the shadows within yourself. Lilith came through. Lady Lilith came through. She's really about working with that shadow side. There's some things when it comes to you in also relationships, you and partnerships, you and other people, you and other things, even your relationship with maybe your creativity, maybe your career, just your relation to anything, that there's some shadows there that need to be sort of overturned and have some light shined on them. The lesson that you'll learn this week, we pulled the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Wands, which is great. That means that the struggle is coming to an end. And that's what you'll learn. So by the end of the week, you'll kind of be like, okay, I'm almost in the clear. It's almost like you're almost out of the woods and you can sense that, you know? We also pulled for a clarifier, you and your loved ones are safe. So you'll really get this confirmation by the end of this week, or I guess the beginning of next week, but by the end of this 7 days, after the weekend, you'll really feel like after this week that things are kind of okay, or things are going to be okay. You might not be in a space where like things are fantastic, but you definitely get to a place where you're like, okay, I think things are looking up, you know? For what to look forward to. Hi, Rosie from Philly. Hi, London. For what to look forward to, or sort of like where to keep our focus on and what to look forward to, we pulled the Two of Cups in reverse. So if you just look at it, to me, it's like, again, with that shadow work, like we've got to kind of flip these relationships upside down. Flip these relationships upside down. We also pulled make a commitment. So what this says to me is like the honeymoon phase is over, honey. With a lot of, not just our relationships, but that doesn't necessarily mean romantic relationships. That could also be sort of a good thing. If there is a relationship in your life, I'm just thinking of my particular life, where there's other people's relationships that seemed, I don't know how to explain it, but seemed a surface level. Now it's kind of like, oh, ish is about to get real. And can you really commit to that? Now, for those of you, when it comes to you and your relationship, it's also your relationship with all of the things in your life, right? So there's that, what is the book? Is it called The Law of Attraction? One of the books by Abe Hicks. I've read a million of them. No, I've read like 4 or 5. One of the Abe Hicks books, I cannot tell you if it's like money in the Law of Attraction or just the Law of Attraction, but the entire book is about relationships, and it is about your relationship to everything. So not necessarily, the Two of Cups is usually about you and one other person. It doesn't have to be just one person. It's about, this is really interesting because last night I came to this realization that I had been dancing around my true desires, This is that admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. I had been dancing around my true desires because I didn't want to be rejected by the thing that I really wanted, right? Like I didn't want to do the thing I really wanted and then fail because it meant so much to me. And what I realized was that I was failing or being rejected by things and people that I didn't even really, weren't even really 100% my true desires, right? And so I was going after things that in my emotional mindset was trying to avoid getting hurt, failing, getting rejected. And then I ended up getting hurt, failing, and rejected in pursuing something I didn't even really want in the first place. Like it was a safe bet. And so now's the time to not take those safe bets. Now's the time to start to make that commitment. And so I feel for myself that this week is definitely going to be about vibrationally making that commitment. Not necessarily do we have to take any real actions, because we're not out of the woods yet. We're not in the clear yet. We're still in this Nine of Wands energy, but we're starting to see that we're almost out of the woods. We're starting to see the clouds dissipate by the end of this week. And we're going to need to look towards, in the coming weeks, really flipping upside down our relationship with the things that truly deeply matter to us. We've got to flip it upside down. We've got to understand, we've got to discover for ourselves why, for me, it's like, why there's a rainbow. Why am I not chasing my rainbows? Why am I not chasing my rainbows and then complaining about the fact that I'm not living under a rainbow? Like, why am I not chasing that? Why? What is the point? So the quote that kept coming to me yesterday was a quote by I'm not sure. I think that this is the exact quote, but we'll see. It's a quote by Jim Carrey who says, "You can fail at what you don't love, so you might as well do what you love." That's essentially, I could be paraphrasing, I don't know, but that's what really was coming to me yesterday, and this kind of feels a little bit like that too. So there is going to be some newfound stuff. Last week we did have a little shift in perspective. So funny, but last week was like to the T for me. If you watched my weekly reading from last week, came true to the T for me. So that was really funny. But there was some changes. There's that sort of sparked some changes for this week. And this week, it's again, it's sort of subtle shifts, but definitely noticeable. Okay? So there is your reading. I got to go before my phone dies. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you check out this monthly reading for the February 2019. Definitely a great reading, much more in depth. And I will see you guys next week for next week's reading.